Welcome to the Six Again podcast, your new destination for all things NRL. Here to bring you everything from team news to best bets are your hosts Adam Hoy and Jared Newton. Let's kick off.
Well, it's probably a good thing for all our listeners that our YouTubes don't go up live because I don't look the best. Hi,
you look fantastic.
Welcome to... Oh, that's nice. Hi, I'm Adam. Welcome to the Six Again podcast.
I'm Jared, and Adam, I'm just trying to prop him up. He's cooked. He spent the last 4 days, what was it, 3 days? It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at a Bucks party, plus his brother's 30th on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came home today thinking he's going to be having a day off to rest and, hang out for a while. And what happened today, Adam?
No, I knew I was going around to my mother-in-law's. I was just helping with some gardening, but ended up doubling up on a delivery run, which is all fine. I just didn't realise how much more it'd take out of me. And I got home at a 2-hour break, and it just wasn't enough. But tonight will be good, and I wouldn't do it. I'd do the same thing all over again because Matt got a great weekend, and we usually don't have them this big, but because we're a bit local, instead of going away, we had to fill it in with a bit more stuff where we'd usually be travelling. So anyway, it was good fun. Actually got I'm not going to say a fair bit of footy in, more footy than I expected to see. Yes, maybe not as much in-depth analysis as we usually would, especially with the last 5 games.
Yeah, so I didn't have anything on, but not much on. I went to Kieran's 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Kieran.
Yeah, people know him.
Turn the big 3-0.
Yeah, you old fuck. And because I'm not 30 yet, so I'm allowed to say that. Hey, Adam.
Okay. He's a young fry, I reckon.
Nah, he's old. You're all old.
Yeah.
I got to watch some of the games. It was a weird weekend because there was a lot of beltings. One definitely surprised everybody. And there was a lot of games that people just did not care about because they didn't matter to the form. So, look, full credit to the players. In those games, they were awfully competitive, but bloody hell, they were bad. There was some... Yeah, I think a lot of players when that siren went off just went, oh, I can go see something now. Yeah, like...
I'm going to get out of this bubble. I'm going to touch everything and everybody I can.
Just go out and have as many pub meals as they can and do all that. Go see their girlfriends on the side for a while, usual stuff.
Bloody hell. I'm going to start. Some stuff hasn't even happened.
So there are some news that came up. The biggest news that came up, and it got announced, or it's officially signed off this afternoon, but got announced last night. Kevin Walters has been named the Broncos coach, finally. So I particularly had a lot of doubts about Kevin Walters. Not about his coaching ability, just because of the fact that he's, been rejected from 5 separate clubs, including the Broncos, in the past. But Broncos, throughout the whole season of their struggle, they finally got the wooden spoon, by the way, on Friday night, which everyone loved. Everyone was all over that. But Broncos, they said all year that they've gone away from the previous culture of where Broncos were for the last 30 years, 33 years. Now with hiring Kevin Walters, they jumped right back on the middle of their Premiership winning successful culture with bringing him back because he's won 6 premierships, I think 4 at Broncos, 2 at Canberra. So
that culture shift is a retiring player after a game making it all about me.
But I don't mind it, Adam. He had fun at the last thing of his thing, and he was.
Are we talking about Darius Boyd kicking his freaking football?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Whatever.
I wouldn't have minded if it was in the change room, but anyway.
Nah, but why? What is something that's never been done in an NRL football field in front of millions of people? Why not?
You know, it would have been a good use of that microphone. Apologising to their fans for being completely shithouse all year while their coach took the brunt of the.
Yeah, I don't. This podcast should be the shithouse history of the Broncos.
I just thought it was the wrong time and wrong moment, wrong place to do it. But anyway, it just took that to shift in their culture. Yes. That wouldn't have. Let's just say that wouldn't have happened at Melbourne.
But what I was saying was that Broncos have been saying that's the reason that they've been losing, because they've gone away from that Broncos winning culture or Broncos culture. Now Kevin Walters got no excuses because that's what he's championed, has been the head coach for Broncos. So he's going to bring that back. Do
you reckon there's more pressure on him starting from last than there would be, say, they finished 9th for the 3rd season in a row or something?
No. Finishing, how Broncos fans reacted, how everything looks like it's getting cleared out, how everything went down this year. I think they're going to make a lot of excuses for him if he doesn't, turn it around instantly, which we will too, because we've said all along that you need 3 years to get the team you want. But the reality of it is the Broncos supporters have been, and the power brokers or whatever you want to call them, have been saying the whole along, the Broncos culture, bring back Kevin Walters, he'll bring it right back, and stuff like that, which I think is the pressure on him, because that's how I believe he got the job.
Pretty smart by the club.
Oh,
gives them an excuse if things don't go so well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, is he going to be the scapegoat? And I think he has a lot. I think he doesn't have much to gain if they do well, just because of the fact that everyone expects him to come in the top 8 now next year, because he's, bringing back that culture. But he's got a lot to lose if he fails.
Yeah.
And then it'd be interesting which way Broncos go, because, like I said, they've been championing the fact that it's a culture thing and we've got to get back to where it was. Now they've got to bring Kevin Walters back to bring it back. So, hope he does well, because he'll get crucified if he doesn't, poor bastard.
Yeah. I hope it does well for Kevin's sake, but in the other side of things, the coaches put themselves in these situations. This is what they do for a job. So,
it'd be interesting how much he actually knows of, if it's, that bad of a disease within Broncos, and does he know that now, or is he going to walk in and 2 months ago, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
That's a good point. That's going to be real interesting. And with regard to the Queensland Origin coaching position, he'll obviously keep that for this year's series.
Maybe not.
Of course he will.
No, because he said a couple of months ago that he would look into stepping down because it's such a big job. He's got to get started right away.
Yeah, no, he won't do that.
And if that happens, we can just make, with everything that's happened this week, with injuries and people pulling out, I'm pretty sure we can make New South Wales probably $1.04 favourites at least.
Yeah, that's true. He's not going to get much by sticking around, I guess. QRL said he can do both. However, they said that they would let him go if Broncos asked them to, which I would assume they probably will, considering the size of the job. That could be something that'll come out even within the next.
Well, see, we got to find out next couple of days, because going on to more news, Freddie Fittler announced 5 players in the train-on squad for New South Wales. Both the Trbojevic brothers, Cam McInnes potentially debut, Payne Haas, and Tyson Frizzell.
Yeah.
You'd think Queensland would be doing it soon too. And
they would if they had anyone to name.
Well, they would, because Cowboys and Broncos got knocked out.
That's true.
So they would have, and Titans as well. So you got, Fodawaker, AJ Brimson, most likely he's at least in the run-on spot. But that's my point. Like, I figured they'd be naming it at the same time. Is the delay?
Well, New South Wales usually do things a day early. And there's no actual set date that they had to put by.
Yeah, but it just seems like, should they be doing it now, or should they be waiting for
I'd say the players would know
to be sorted
already.
out. And then on top of that, like, does Paul Green go straight into Origin to start naming his squad? Or is the heavy favourite?
Kevin Walters will stay coach. It's too much upheaval.
I don't think he will.
To go.
I honestly don't think he will.
Broncos won't make any difference.
We'll see in the next couple of days, but it's just interesting, that's all.
He's been doing too much work on that this year just to throw it to the next person. And
yeah, but all the work he's gone. Like, he would have had a team a month ago, and at least 8 of them have been ruled out since then.
This is true.
Like, all the work he put into it, all the, the talk, all the stuff, it's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, It's pretty much a series, right? This will be a bigger upset. If Queensland won this series,
it'd be huge.
A bigger upset than
95.
Or 95 or 06, either one.
No.
Gee.
Yeah, it is insane. Look, what's the list for Feeder, Holmes?
Oh, we'll get to that. That's weeks away.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, well, you do have to get it handed to you, otherwise you guys don't win.
Did we get handed to us the last 2 years?
Yes.
Fuck off.
We had no Slater and we had
and we had no Andrew Johns, Brad Fittler, and Steve Mortimer.
They were never in the same team. Jesus.
Mortimer.
Cam Smith actually gave an interview this week, and it was interesting to see because it was the first week of the finals. All the captains would usually be there kicking the finals off, and instead this time they all zoomed in. And obviously he was asked questions with regards to the timing of his retirement call, rah. And he said, don't have anything for you. I'm still surprised by the curiosity and stuff. Like there's an actual timeline. The decision could be made next week, could be made grand final day, could be made post-season. There's no timeline on when this has to be done by. But he did say it would be different if Bellamy or the Melbourne board had said, we need an announcement by this date. They haven't put any pressure on him. No, he said it's just the media making all this sort of stuff. And they brought
big surprise.
And the Brendan Smith stuff and all that. He's talked to Harry multiple times this year. Harry's committed to Melbourne. This is Cameron Smith's words. Harry's committed to Melbourne next year. All that sort of stuff. And then they propped him up on the Bellamy stuff, which obviously there's talk now about, well, we didn't just touch on the Kevin Walters role, is the only way that they were going to offer him a role is if he accepted a babysitter or a senior advisor to him as a coach. Because he's got no experience as an NRL coach. So their idea is to have Bellamy on board from 2022 to be the senior advisor for Kevin Walters. But we do know there will be a coaching position above that of Walters who will be advising him on decisions.
Well, that's another thing that makes me curious. What's wrong with him? Like, honestly, what is wrong with Kevin Walters that 5 clubs reject it, and when he finally gets the thing where, like, you can coach, but that guy's going to look after it and look over your shoulder.
He's never coached before.
Neither has a lot of people. Craig Bellamy, at one point, did not coach before.
Yeah, but they came.
He didn't get a babysitter.
Coaching ranks.
He didn't get a babysitter.
No.
Wayne Bennett did not get a babysitter.
But he had a babysitter his whole coaching thing. That's what happens when you're an assistant.
But I've never seen that before. I've never seen something like that. The closest I've seen was Phil Gould a couple of years ago at Penrith, and you look what happened there. He went through 3 coaches.
Yeah.
But I've just never. I don't know why people keep doubting Kevin Walters. What's wrong with him?
Who cares?
Oh, do you understand where I'm coming from, though?
No, I do, but I think every club's got this. It's just this is the only one dumb enough to make it official. And
Well, who's the coaching director? Okay, who's the most recent coach put on, like, this year? Oh, Adam O'Brien. Who's the coaching director at Newcastle?
I don't know.
You reckon Adam O'Brien, they would have went, here's the coaching grade, but Adam O'Brien said, I want a babysitter? There's no baby.
That coaches take the job knowing that there's someone who's always going to have the number one call of whether they stay or go. And it's not
that's the CEO and the general manager.
They won't be CEO. There'll be someone else involved. Always.
Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it alone until next year. I'm just curious. That's all. Why do they feel like he needs a babysitter? I don't know.
It's the biggest club to coach, and he's never coached, whereas most of them have been at least assistant coaches.
He's been assistant coach under Bellamy and Bennett.
Yeah, but not for a while. Like last.
And he's the current Queensland representative coach.
Yeah, but that's more. I'd say an Origin coach is more like an Origin manager because there's not much.
That's true, but I just like his resume suggests. He should be left on. And then you act on what he's paid.
Maybe the club was going to put that in regardless of who they signed. It's just like a scapegoat sort of surefire backup thing saying we
possibly
what we're doing and we are going to have a completely new forward and a new coach. I know it's weird, but it's at the same time.
Fucking strange. And we won't know what happens till 3 years down the track. I just don't know why people keep doubting him.
I know. He hasn't won as a coach yet either.
He's won 2 premierships as assistant coach and won a premiership as a Storm under-20s coach.
It's different to being head coach.
That's one of the best resumes you could ever have. Like, there's a point where you let him go with diapers, to be honest.
Yeah. If I was the Broncos, I wouldn't have made it
so public.
Yeah. I don't know if they chose to make it public, but they didn't also make a good job of hiding it.
I really, really hope he does do what he does well because he just won't recover from this, to be honest.
Oh, no, it'll be a one and done deal if at all.
Yeah, and it's so sad because he's a nice bloke.
Yeah. Staying on coaches, Peter Gentle, the interim, now gone Broncos coach, and Matt Elliott have been signed by the Dragons as Anthony Griffin's assistants.
That's a good signing.
Yeah, that completes their coaching makeup now. If you jump on their website, they've got a breakdown of all the positions and the people that are in those. Matt Elliott, hopefully, is as funny as switched on as is on Grand Slam commentary for rugby league on the weekends. If you haven't heard him, he's very he just throws random stuff in there in between like the call.
Is it useful stuff?
Oh, some are just like quotes, slang. Yeah, it's hilarious sometimes, and then other times it's just like, what? Why do you say that? And the commentators like pause for a second, and then keep going. But anyway, him and Ben Eichen have been not Ben Eichen. Him and Anthony Minicello have been doing a online webinar business success sort of series with regards to mentoring and leadership and all that sort of stuff. So maybe there's something involved there that they believe a lot of the young guys there might need. That could be a link to it as well. Two games on the weekend had new rules trialed, and analysts has already come out and said it's a success and it could be implemented straight away into 2021. Just like the NRL to trial something for a week and throw it in full time. It's brilliant. I guess the big one was the awarding of tries and then them being checked over before the conversion takes place, and the stats that he used, I haven't checked this, but I'm assuming he put it against the longest game of the weekend. The 2 games that had this new system where the referee would just award a try if he believed it was a try, and they'd have the possibility to check it in between, were the Broncos and Cowboys. So in that one, there were 9 tries, 3 referred, and it was 97 minutes long, the game. The Warriors Manly had 14 tries, so 5 more tries, but only 1 referral of 14 tries. Whole game was 95 minutes. You compare that to the Raiders and Sharks, which didn't have this system in place. There were 12 tries, so 2 less tries, but they had 8 referrals, 110 minutes. So there's a 15-minute difference in the game time. The fact that there were 14 tries, ref felt 13 of them they could just send straight up try, whereas the Raiders Sharks, they're a bit iffy, like, oh, you should probably check that one. That's a pretty big difference, 15 minutes. But it's also a 2-game sample size and only compared to one other of the games. There's still another 5 games, notwithstanding in that evidence there. I doubt, well, I'm not even going to say they will. They won't trial this in the finals either. And they don't really have anything else to trial it in before next season unless Q Cup or something kicks off early. Yeah, I don't really have much more on that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
No. As long as it's getting the right decisions, there's less bunker, we're all happy. We've already mentioned New South Wales have done their prelim origin side, so we're not going to recover that. All right, Judiciary. Queensland takes another kick to the nuts. Val Holmes is out for first origin game. Did you know that one?
Yes, and I had a big giggle today at work about it.
Banned for a shoulder charge. I'm pretty sure backs don't shoulder charge anyway, but he could afford it. Men out for 2 games. He's taken early guilty pleas out for 1 game. Luke Thompson's pleaded not guilty to eye gouging James Tarmo. The match review committee watched it and decided he has a case to answer, so he's off to the judiciary Tuesday night. Max King was referred straight to the judiciary after being charged with a hip drop tackle, which looked pretty bad. I didn't even know this was a thing till a couple of weeks ago, but after watching it, I'm pretty sure they've been in the game forever.
There's a new tackle every single year in rugby league, I reckon.
Yeah. Melbourne teammate Tui Kamika is also in danger of being unavailable for this week against Parramatta for dangerous contact, but it looks as though he'll be missing anyway with an ankle injury. So he may as well see, like, I don't know, he's going to miss a match for judiciary. It looks like he's going to miss 2 matches with an ankle injury. So either way. King and Kamika have until midday Tuesday to enter a plea. Ryan Madison will be right to play after entering a guilty plea. Adam Dewey will miss the start of next year, 1 game for an early plea on a shoulder charge again. And Sean Kepi and Jazz Tavega will both receive fines. Let's have a look. That links into rest of the origin, I guess, with regards to injuries. So Cole Felt is going in for surgery, even after a hat-trick against the Broncos. Michael Morgan's out injured, as is Moses Mbai. We know Tim Glasby and Ethan Lowe are both retired. David Fafita probably won't be there. Well, won't be there for the first one, probably won't be there for the rest of the series either. But the big one out of that, judiciary-wise, is Val Holmes. Casualty, Ryan Sutton looks as though he'll be out for the rest of the season. 2 to 4 weeks minimum with MCL damage to his knee, which is a shame for Canberra because he's been quite consistent, pretty good.
And that's his 2nd year in a row too. He's missed down the field. Granted, last year was an eye gouge, so that's why. But Ricky Stewart came out and said that, you know, he came back for the preseason raring to go, ready to repay what happened with Canberra. The players, his teammates, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Was that him? Was that him doing the eye gouging? I thought that was Hudson Young.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So he was injured last year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. He was injured last year. He couldn't make the finals. This year, there's been a hell of a lot of injuries. He's stepped up. He's played really well this year.
Yeah.
And Ricky Stewart's very disappointed he can't take part in the final series.
The upside for Canberra, George Williams, John Bateman, Jordan Rapana and Charles Nicol-Clockstead will both be back this week, as will Josh Dugan and CSC Fatalikai for the Sharks. Brian To'o didn't require scans on his ankle injury, so he'll be right. Jake Friend is a chance to play this week. Satili Topanua also has to pass concussion protocols with Jake Friend. Tui Kamikami, we already said that. Del Finucane's still doubtful. However, Vunivalu, Tino, Fasamawali, Kenny Bromwich and Felice Kafusi will all be back. Parramatta back row Murata Niokore will be back this week, and Dylan Brown will more than likely return in week 2 of the finals. And Lachlan Fitzgibbon should be back for the Knights as well this week. So no real new injuries picked up over the weekend, bar Ryan Sutton. More an update of who will be back for the teams in the finals. Now, before we recap the games, signing news. Manly confirm a 1-year signing of Kieran Foran. And with that, a release of Danny Levi, Brendan Elliott and Tony Williams, all of who will not be re-signed. Hasler's pointed to his experience. Kieran has done it all in games, from winning premierships to playing Test football for New Zealand. I think that premierships one was, 10 years ago by next year. But anyway, his knowledge of the game will be invaluable to all players in our squad. Yeah, for the 4 games he'll be on the field. Anyway, West Tigers, Benji Marshall and Chris Lawrence have both left the club. And on top of that, the West Tigers have also released Elijah Taylor, Matt Eisenhuth, Dylan Smith, Robert Jennings and Oliver Clark, while Harry Grant obviously returns to Melbourne.
There's a few decent pickups in that little list.
Yeah, I'll take Matt Eisenhuth, please. South Sydney have extended the contracts of utility Bailey Sirenen. Damn it, an outside.
Oh, shit.
Masters. This has just been a great weekend for Manly. Adam Blair's retired after a 15-year career, and if you haven't seen, the Warriors gave him a massively passionate haka before he left the field. Jamal Fogarty have locked up. Oh, geez. Gold Coast have locked up Jamal Fogarty through to the end of 2022, which is a really good pickup. He has been really good, considering the circumstances he came in. Manly have agreed to a 3-year contract extension with Taniela Paseka. Woo! That'll take him through the end of 2024. That's pretty much it. Unless there's something I missed there. No. Cool. All right. Let's get into the last wrap of 2020.
Well, not the last wrap. The last wrap of the regular season.
That's what I just said.
So the first game, I feel like everybody in the rugby league community was gunning for this result.
Oh, except for Broncos supporters.
No, I know a few of them. They were like, yeah, okay, we deserve the wooden spoon. After this game, it came out that it was still mathematically possible for them to lose the wooden spoon if Bulldogs lost by 188 points. They tried their hardest to lose by 188 points. Just could not get over the line. But, Cowboys 32 over Brisbane Broncos 16. Kyle Phelps scored a hat-trick. There's not too much to say. Drinkwater played really well in this game. I was really happy with how he's going to look good, really good next year.
Broncos got out to a 12-0 lead too.
Yeah, that's through a Payne Haas. Someone dawdled the ball down to Payne Haas, and Darius Boyd scooted from dummy half to get it over the line. But yeah, Cowboys are just too strong. And Gavin Cooper got the final kick in the 78th minute to put it over the post. There's not too much to say about this game other than Broncos got the wooden spoon.
This is one of the games I actually got to watch and pay attention to. The fact like the Thursday night was kind of our ease-in night. And the Broncos actually looked up for it at the start and got off to a bit of a flyer, and then did what the Broncos have done and gave away a bunch of penalties, dropped the ball, or made 13 errors, let the Cowboys back into it. Once the Cowboys were back into it, they looked like the better team for the rest of the game. Pretty much from the 20th minute onwards, they had it under control, bar a Corey Oates try in the 54th minute. I'm just having a look here. Yeah, Tamalolo, I was just checking his meters. 250 meters. Always racks them up against the Broncos there. Paddy Carrigan almost getting up to the 200. 189 plus 54 tackles. Again, a very understated year for him.
I think he'll play for Queensland this year.
I think he very much will. And Cole Feldt showing what he would have brought to the Broncos, to Queensland with a hat-trick, but we now know that's not going to be the case because he's going straight in for surgery. It's been said a lot, but the Broncos getting a wooden spoon, like the odds of that at the start of the season.
Well, especially when they won the first two.
What would have been bigger odds, you reckon? Titans getting the wooden spoon. Titans getting the Premiership or Broncos getting the wooden spoon?
I do think there would have been less chance of Broncos, especially during the COVID break. Like I said, they won 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm just saying before the whole season.
Yeah. No.
It'd be interesting if good teams have never won, have never got the wooden spoon.
So Manly haven't?
No. Melbourne haven't?
No, Melbourne have, but that's when they got their points stripped off them. I think there's like 3 or 4 who haven't.
Pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the next game, Gold Coast won 36-6 over Newcastle. Look, everyone's saying, Newcastle came in underdone. Their heads weren't there. It is true. Their heads weren't there.
Had a lot to play for, I thought.
Well, see, the thing about it is that if people watch the game, did you actually see it? Because in the first 15 minutes, Newcastle got disallowed 3 tries over the line. So, and one was Edric Lee, like half a stud was over the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Legitimately, yeah. Yeah, and then, one was Aiden where it touched the ball and it went forward off the thing, Mitchell Pearce. So they went over 3 times in the first 15 minutes. So I just think the Titans played them out of it. Like, the Titans played really well. They were really good attacking football. Their forwards ran up the middle really well. Like, they had so many unknown forwards in their squad. And Newcastle, you got to say, had a more predominant, a better forward pack, really. And they were running over the top of them. And then you throw Brimson in that, then you throw Taylor.
Oh, man. Well his Brimson's individual try, far out, man. And he pongered the Knights.
Sorry?
He pongered the Knights on that.
Yeah.
That's what you expect Ponga to score.
And that's the thing, Ponga's a freak, but he couldn't have stopped that. No one could stop that.
No.
Like Brimson was just on fire that night. And as a lot of people said, if there was a proper round season, you'd put money on Gold Coast making the 8 over definitely Cronulla, probably over Newcastle if you look at the game result. But yeah, no, I'm not saying Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle played bad, but a lot of that is the way Gold Coast played because ours is really good.
I love the fact that I think I messaged you and Kieran. So we got a group, just the 3 of us, and so I think one of you said they look like they're the new Warriors, and I said they have the confidence of the Warriors, they'll throw the ball around from their own 20, but if things aren't working, they've got a structure to fall back on to get things back on track. And I think Fogarty and Fogarty, Brimson, and Taylor seem to have been given the same freedom that Robinson gives the Roosters playmakers. You play what you see first, switch to sides, do what you want to do. If it's not working, fall back on our structure and
try again later.
Get things back on track and then try again. And you can see that. Like some sets they'll just roll through the middle, and then other sets, like the who was it? Brian Kelly in and out to send
gone down
the, and they were 20 metres out from their own line, and they didn't score on that play. But the confidence they showed to do that, and the Ash Taylor breakaway.
I really like, because like as Adam said, we were talking about a group chat. That was the first time I really sat down and watched Gold Coast, because it was just a good football team to watch. Like as a Newcastle fan, I was like, oh, righto, this is fun. Obviously, I'll say different. The same thing happens this weekend, but look, I as a Newcastle fan, I'm telling everyone right now, don't rule out Newcastle this weekend either, because they do have the team to pull a lot. I think they've got to make some changes. I think they've got to bring Tex Hoy in at 6. Mason Lino's is too slow.
Yeah, he looks slow, didn't he?
Yeah. He's got the short, stumpy legs. He's more of a break tackles, like explode and then slow down kind of thing player. Yeah. Not more of a So I think they've got to get rid of him, and next year they'll have another centre, because Tuala's just too slow. Unfortunately, 2 defensive reads aren't there, I don't believe. But look, we're not going to spend too much time on that. We'll cover that in our pre-game on Saturday.
What Jared's saying, there's just as high a chance next week that the Knights have that scoreline against the Titans, and then if you had that week again, the score could flip again. Like Knights can put 36 points on a lot of teams. It just depends what Knights rock up. And
that's what I'm hoping for right now, because we go win, loss, win. We got belting, flogging. Like we belt someone, then we get flogged. So hopefully we belt South Sydney this week. But yeah, talking about beltings and floggings. So this game, no one saw this coming. If anyone put 50 points plus to South Sydney, all the more power to you. Do you know what the coolest thing about this game was? South Sydney won 60 points to 8, as if everyone doesn't know already.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about this was, so on the Thursday night, Cole Felt jumped ahead by 3 tries over Alex Johnson.
Yeah.
In the highest try scoring. But this game, Alex Johnson scored 4 tries.
5.
And one of them where he was just backing up and there was no Roosters players in there, and the team knew it, so they gave him the ball.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And he won the highest try score, which, they reckon he's been in the top 3 for the last 5 years, just never got it.
Never got
it. So good on him. And
it was 5 tries, not 4, guys.
Was it? Okay, yeah. And you'd think, just think about that. In the middle of the year, South Sydney wanted to offload Johnson.
Yeah.
So he proved them wrong. He done the right thing. For this game, I see one thing out of this game is, if I was Penrith supporter next week, I'd be fucking shitting myself. I would be petrified, because there's Trent Robinson. He looked pissed up in the change room that whole game. He had this stone look in his face. And look, he's not the kind of guy who's going to go around and wake him up at 4 a.m. the next morning after the game and flog the shit out of him with fitness. He's just going to go millions and millions of video. He's just going to leave no stone unturned. And those players, he's going to bring back, I think, Manu, Lindsay Collins, and I think a Morris twin next year.
Yeah, because we know the Roosters rested 3 players, but you still
they wouldn't have changed that.
Tedesco, Tupou, Morris, Keary.
Yeah.
Flanagan, Hargraves, Friend, Takiaho, Cordner, Tupanua, Crichton, Sonny Bill Williams, Nat Butcher. Like, they're not far off. They're the only people that are going to come into that are Joey Manu, a Morris brother, and
I think there's someone else. Is it Tupanua?
No, he was there.
Lindsay Collins. So, yeah. There's no... And, look, that might have been the reality check Roosters needed. They might have been going, like, coasting a little bit. Because they're winning pretty comfortably the last 2 months. So, maybe that's the reality check.
And the Rabbitohs had 2 tries disallowed.
Yeah, so... There's no way in hell people should be writing the Roosters off.
Oh, God, no.
Isn't it? And the fact with the history saying there's no team who's conceded 50 in a regular season and gone on in the Premiership, this is also a team who won back-to-back for the first time in 30 years.
James Tedesco still had 234 run meters.
Yeah, like, I'm not writing them off, no way in hell, and I actually think this is going to make them stronger. And this is not taken away for anything South Sydney. Cody Walker was absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He can win you a game off his own back if he wanted to. Problem is he's got to keep up that level for 30 games a year. That's the problem.
Well, no one's going to get that level, but...
No, but like, you know, he's got to... Because he can do it. He has the power and the ability and the talent to do what Jared Hayne did in 09. And now he brings the premiership of his own back. But that's the thing. He's got to get in that mindset for the next, 4 weeks. He's got to win 4 games for him in a row. So...
The team stats. Alex Johnson and Adam Reynolds scored 40 points between them. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that...
All right, well, but I haven't seen a team... I'm not even going to say against the Roosters. I'm just going to say a team making another NRL team's defense.
Oh, yeah.
Looks so bad. Like, Oh, my God. Like, they were doing the most basic sweep plays.
Yeah.
But they were doing it with such precision timing and angles and speed that they're making Josh Morris go, what? I mean, if you got Josh Morris in 2 different minds, one of the best defensive centres, or if not the best defensive centre of his generation, everything Rabbitohs did would just look perfect.
I think for that reason alone, that I think the Roosters are going to come with their heads on next week.
They have to.
Just because of the fact they were made to look silly, and I don't think they like that.
And considering they're going to be versing Penrith next week, and you put Penrith and Rabbitohs points together from this round,
it's
102 points compared to the 8 the Roosters scored.
So
compared to the 8 that the 2 teams they verse scored, actually, because Canterbury scored none.
I'm
not writing off the Roosters at all. I'm just saying it's extraordinary. I could see them getting beaten, but I didn't see them getting beaten like this. Because we both picked them just saying, yes, they're resting players. Yes, Rabbitohs are full strength. But the Roosters are good enough to be able to rest 3 players and still beat everyone in this comp.
No, that's right.
So we still expected Roosters to win, but we could both see Rabbitohs winning.
Well, I tipped South Sydney.
Did you?
For my plan to go right. I tipped South
that's
Sydney.
right.
I needed South and Para to win. But the thing about it is, so I theorise that this is going to piss the Roosters off and they're going to demolish Penrith on Friday night. I had a question for you. Do you think South Sydney's peaked from that? Or do you think they can get better? Do you think that's their...
that.
Do you reckon they can maybe take it a notch or 2 down, but do you reckon they can keep that up for the next 4 weeks? Because remember, the week before, South Sydney got beaten by Bulldogs.
Yeah, and then the week before that, they absolutely smoked another one of the top teams. Who was that?
Yeah, so I'll just get it up now. No, they 26-24 over Tigers.
No, not that one.
And then the week before that, they went down 22-16 against Melbourne. And then they beat Para 38-0.
Yeah, that one there. That was their first one where we went, oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
so that many points.
When you
and
think
the week
about
before
it,
that, and the week before that, they beat Seagulls 56-16.
When you think about it, they're close to just as inconsistent as Newcastle are.
Yeah, but they're being...
Yeah, but they're taxed better, obviously. But they're winning one, and then they're getting flogged. And then they're losing a close game. And then they're flogging someone. And then they're
I'm picking up on that more. They're playing their best games against the best teams.
Well, good thing for Newcastle, because Newcastle are not the best team.
Mm.
So, yeah, we'll go into it more on Wednesday night. I just reckon that I'd be worried if I was Penrith, and I'm questioning if South Sydney compete. But, look, I don't have high hopes for Newcastle this weekend. I just know that out of every situation that could have happened, Newcastle are in the best side of the draw for us to progress into the finals.
Yeah.
So I'd rather play, South Sydney than Canberra. And in the second round, I'm assuming we'd play Parramatta. I'd rather play them than fucking Melbourne or Roosters or Penrith. So.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so next game.
Spain.
Oh, yeah, talk about another spanking. 42-0. Congratulations, Penrith, on getting the JJ Giltinan Shield. I know everyone on this podcast very highly doubted this could happen, but here we are. Congratulations,
eat my words. Humble pie.
Yeah. From what I understand, we didn't actually get to watch this game, but Bulldogs didn't even come close.
Nope.
And Penrith just showed where they're at. I'm actually, and this is going to sound,
and kick out.
Yeah, and this is actually going to sound a bit mean, but I actually thought it could have been higher, to be honest. Like, with how both teams are tracking along. But yeah.
Thank you, Carrot Holland, for playing your last game for our club. What else is there to say? Like, you come up against a team that's resting their best second rower attacking option in kick out, a boom rookie who's an absolute athlete, and a fullback who ties it all together for him and still gets spanked 42-0. Playing for literally nothing, but like they there was a chance where they could have been playing and not get the wooden spoon, and that's a hell of a lot of turnaround that would have had to happen for them not to get beaten 42-0 if the Broncos had won. Like, how much of that was in the back of their mind? Oh, we can't get wooden spoon. Sweet. Let's just not lose one.
Well, like I said, they tried their hardest to get 188 points scored against them.
Even with a new coach coming in next year and a couple of signings, there's a hell of a lot more that needs to be done at this club to have them pushing. I guess for the Bulldogs' end of their season, bright spots, if there's going to be any, would be Raymond Fatala-Mariner has been a good player for him for the majority of the season. I'm looking at the rest. There's been some other players that have had some bright spots, but they're literally spots. Like Adam Elliott, I guess, would be the most consistent of the forwards when he was on the field.
I think Jackson would be ahead of him, but yeah, they're pretty well.
A consistent Jackson is going to win you a game.
They're clones.
Yeah. It's been a pretty disappointing season for the Bulldogs, apart from the one thing that they get to cheer about, which is the Broncos' demise. That's with Cleary missing 3 kicks, which he doesn't do very often. So Penrith, they've just been absolutely outstanding. Damn well coached, bringing together a lot of young talent with a small number of experienced heads to get them.
Well, that's what we talked about lots of times ago. So I put it to everyone at the start of the year, the Broncos are going to do well for their young team. that theory was right, but it's just Penrith. Like, Penrith just got such a young, versatile team, and they're all good players. Like, the unearthing of Stephen Crichton in the centres, he's just going to get bigger and faster. And then, Jerome Luai had some doubts when he started the year. He's been incredible.
Ryan Su'o and Brent Naden are both finishers.
And then, you got Dylan Edwards and Caleb Aikens. Both NRL standard fullbacks. When
Charlie
they come
Staines, who can't even get into the team now.
Like, they've all just played well. And then you add, the experience out of Tamo. But I think the biggest thing that they've got going for him this year is Coruscant. He's that old head in the middle. He can make 50 tackles. But other than Smith, he's probably the most creative hooker in the comp.
Yeah.
And he does make those 50 tackles. He's super fit. He's quick in between the ears. He's just all over it. So good on Penrith for doing well. I hate saying it. I really do, but it is what it is. They just deserve all the honor they get.
Now, this was the first of the games where there were a big number of players rested. And we were looking into this one going, all right, who are we going to pick? And I ended up going Raiders based off the fact that Shaun Johnson wasn't there for the Sharks. And you're looking at this Canberra team, and there is one of their back seven who's a regular starter, and yet they put up 38 points.
Yeah, and with Cronulla, the reason we didn't pick him was because we said Shaun Johnson's 90% of their attack. They still scored 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
I didn't realize it was 90% of their defense too. Jesus. So there's a couple of late changes here for the Sharks in Teague Wilton and Braden Trindle coming in at hooker in second row. But you're looking through the Sharks team, there's a hell of a lot more experience at NRL level. But also in saying that, there's a hell of a lot of untried partnerships. Talent, but it's the same as the Canberra team. There's a lot of these players who don't play these positions with each other on a week-to-week basis. And just going off that, you'd still expect the Sharks to have done better, especially as a home team. But Canberra run out 38-28 winners after being up 24-10 at half-time. So an 18-14 second half to Cronulla, but Canberra with the goods there, which sets up a first-round battle for Canberra against the Sharks again. The difference, though, for the Raiders will be Charles Nickel-Clockstead comes back, Jordan Rapana comes back, George Williams comes back, John Bateman comes back.
Yeah.
And for the Sharks, you've got Dugan and Talakai coming back.
Yeah, and Ramian.
Yeah, and Ramian. The other big difference is next week's game will be in Canberra. So it's Canberra lose Hodgson last year and they keep winning. They lose him again this year. They got no Bateman and these other ones, but they seem to still be able to win.
Tom Starling,
the odds quite.
Tom Starling probably scored the contender for the try of the season this year. That game, he ripped through the middle, put a chip kick in, beat like 3 players to the ball. And, yeah, he was really good that game. And we said it last couple of weeks. He's a lot more quality than Havili, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be a player around for a long time. And it depends on Josh Hodgson. But, there's a chance they might lose him because there's a few, like Bulldogs would fry with a guy like that, I reckon.
Yeah, Manly. World-class hooker. Sorry.
Well, that'd be someone you guys could pick up. He'd do really well with Foran and Cherry. Oh, wait, Foran's your hooker, isn't he? Ah, yeah, sorry.
Unless they know something about Mane's fee now that we don't. But anyway. He goes in for a little scoot. All right, next game on the rack. Jared, off the rack.
What's that one? My phone's dying.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm watching that Tom Starling try again. It was the... So you were freaking on the ball. It wasn't Manly because that was Sunday. Oh, Tigers, Eels.
Oh, yeah. So I
28.
didn't get to watch this game.
Eels over the Tigers.
I know that...
Just came down to conversions.
Yeah, I know Tigers did everything they can. Parramatta did everything they can to blow it.
Yeah.
Which sucked, which I was annoyed about because I needed them to win. But, yeah, so Parramatta came out winners, locked their spot as third spot, I believe. And, yeah, done really well.
So they were down by 12 with basically 30 minutes to go and scored 2 tries one the 65th, one the 72nd minute, both converted to pretty much snatch this one from the Tigers. Adam Dewey only kicked 1 of 5 conversions, which proved to be telling, considering it was only a 4-point game. That's including a penalty goal that he did kick. Blake Ferguson got the Eels off to a quick start, but West Tigers hit back straight away through Tommy Talau. And then it was kind of try for try until the Tigers added on 3 straight after the break to kind of blow the game out. It was 24-16 at that stage. 16. And then Eels scored 12 points over those last 2 tries in the last 15 minutes. Parramatta aren't winning back any doubters.
Nah.
They still just clunking along, doing what they need to win, and we've given them credit for that in the past, and I guess we'll continue to do so. But they're now versing the Storm in Brisbane.
Yeah, and Storm have got 12 players coming back, and I've been defending Parramatta for the last 2 months, I reckon, since they started this slump. They better pick up their shit in the next couple of weeks, or not, because I'm hoping Newcastle play in 2 weeks. But they made the top 4 for that first, 13 rounds, I reckon. And then they kind of limped the last 7 to make the top 4. So, and this is the time of year for them to do better, but they're not showing anything right now. They're really not.
And they're coming up against the Storm next week. And while Storm did have a loss this week, even the players they brought in, it was literally a no-name squad against a very well-known Dragon side, and they still almost got that win. So it's not like Storm are lacking for depth either.
And you know what Storm did, and we'll touch on this more later. Pappenhausen went on the bench for the last 20 minutes of the game. He wasn't injured. He just got rested for the last 20 minutes. So the next game. Adam, you want to take this one?
This has been the end of the worst second half of the season I remember for my team in a long time. That's saying something. Warriors blowing out Manly 40-28. Another defensive catastrophe for the Seagulls. Remembering they were coming into this game averaging 34 points against over the past, I think, 8 weeks, which is disgustingly bad at this level. The Warriors, Adam Kieran getting a career hat-trick, Alicia Katoa scoring twice, and as a send-off game for Adam Blair, I guess they couldn't have played any better. 26-14 at half-time after Manly had gotten away to an early lead. They're up 10-0 after, 8-ish minutes. And then Warriors scored.
You always do that.
The next 15 minutes. Yeah, I know. We've done that quite a lot lately. Game's over. We're up by 10 after 10 minutes. Yeah, not so much. Avis Miski coming in the Manly side, scoring a double. Taylor Paseka, Corey Waddell, Ruben Garrick, Brad Parker. And the Patrick Herbert also getting a double for the Warriors. You got to give it to the Warriors. They've done above and beyond what most people expected of them to do. We thought the first 2 games after the COVID restart was going to be what their season was going to look like. Absolutely shocking. And then they have just battled and picked up win after win after win. And have finished in a very respectable position on the ladder. Only a win outside 2 wins outside the 8th and 10th spot, which is bloody fantastic. 2 points above where the Seagulls are, down in 13th.
Good on them. We talked about it a lot. Any team that had a chance to whinge and bitch. And as we said earlier in the podcast, a lot of the bottom 8 teams, when the siren went off, just would have taken a deep breath out and went, thank fuck, this is over. Guarantee you all the Warriors players would have said that with a lot more emotion than any other team to see their season done. They were just, as Adam said, they fought through all the bullshit. Special credit goes to Tuivasa Sheck. He
wasn't.
But the thing is, he didn't get to see his family this entire time, with all the rest of them spent time with their families.
And he was the captain.
He was a captain. He had no one. Well, he had the team, but no family there. His wife and kids. He had to watch his first steps of his child's first steps over the video, over live streaming. And he did the right. Well, I wouldn't have done it, but he did the right thing, and he stayed with the team for that last week, where the Warriors and the NRL personally asked him if he wanted to go home and start his isolation earlier in New Zealand, but he didn't, and all the more credit to him.
Brings the end to a very disappointing season for Manly. Can't say that I'm shocked. We've talked about the signings Manly have had and the people they've let go before, so we're not going to go over that. Dragons and Storm were the last game of the 2020 regular season. This was I named last episode Who Dat, with regards to who the hell is that, especially with this Melbourne Storm side. Very few known names. Sandor Earl, Paul Momorowski and Ryan Pappenhausen kind of being the start and end of that list. And they were up 16-12 at halftime, the Storm, but Dragons ran them over in the second half with 3 tries, all converted by Zach Lomax. Not enough to push his way into the New South Wales extended squad. Misses out with Tariq Sims, Paul Vaughan as well.
I agree with Tariq Sims. He hasn't done anything all year.
I'm just saying names.
Yeah.
But Matt Duffy with another double, Zach Lomax with another try. They've been their 2 best players all year. Tyson Frizzell with a double as well to finish his season and career, I guess, with the Dragons. Well, not I guess. Finish his career with the Dragons, his last game with the Dragons before moving to Newcastle next year. Couldn't have been a better way to go out apart from not being in the finals. And unfortunately, because the Dragons won, we have nothing from Dean Young this week. That grabs their headlines, unfortunately.
Oh no, there was.
There was.
Did you watch it?
Nah.
No, it was good. He's like, we got the win. Lucky Pappenhausen can't kick though.
He wasn't a goal. Nico Hines.
Oh, either way, that's what he said, and it was just great because he realised that if it wasn't for goal kicking, he wouldn't have won. So he said it.
Oh, true.
Talking about Dean Young, he actually, I don't know if we talked about it, he signed with the Cowboys as an assistant coach. Did we mention
did he?
Yeah, he signed with the Cowboys as assistant coach. Him and Todd Payton will actually be it'd be a good combination, I reckon, because as we said, Todd Payton, you know where he stands with him, and Dean Young, you definitely definitely know where you stand. So it's going to be a very honest time up in North Queensland next year.
Oh, I'm looking forward to those.
I'm looking forward to it, actually. So there won't be any excuses or anything like that. I'll be very surprised if Josh Maguire survives with the attitude he's got with those 2 around.
Yeah, no shortcuts taken up there. again, I feel like this will break another disappointing season for the Dragons. Missing out on the 8 again. With that win, they do jump a couple of spots in the table in the last week. I know that because Manly dropped the other way. So I think we pretty much switched position. Oh, no. Dragons went up 1. Eagles went down 2. So Dragons finishing in 12th position. So the end of the 2020 regular season. We'll start at the top. So our finalists for 2020, Penrith Panthers in first position with a 5-point gap in the end. Melbourne Storm in second place, followed by Parramatta Eels, Sydney Roosters, Canberra Raiders, South Sydney Rabbitohs, Newcastle Knights, and Cronulla Sharks round out the top 8 on 20 points. And we did, what did we say? To get 8th position, we're looking at 22. So There you go. We were 2 points off that one.
How close were you to your top 8?
Oh, yeah, we forgot to keep changing them, eh? I don't know.
Yeah, no, but we did write it. So I reckon I think I got the order wrong, but I was well up there.
I don't know. I've got like 3 different books on the run at the moment with this thing. Great. I can't get it out. Ooh. I have a feeling as though I didn't have the Sharks in there in the end, even though I started with them in there.
Okay, so
sorry if this.
Oh Jesus! I didn't even have Penrith in it. So I had Roosters, Para, Storm, Raiders, Cowboys, Newcastle, Rabbits, Manly. Jesus. So I got 1 point for Roosters, 1 point for Para, Storm, Raiders, Knights, and Rabbits, and I get extra points. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. I was going to say I get extra points for having Knights and Rabbits in the right positions, but I've got Knights at 6 and Rabbits at 7, which is the other way around. So I got
Bloody hell.
4. I got 6 right out of 8, so I just missed out on Penrith.
Oh, here's mine.
Cronulla. Missed out on Penrith and Cronulla.
Oh, well, this is the most updated one I could find. Roosters, Eels, Storm. Oh, I had them the wrong way. Rabbits, Manly, Raiders, and 6th, damn it. Cowboys and Knights. So I had 6 as well. I was missing the Sharks and Penrith.
Yeah.
But I think after the second or third round is the last one we found. Oi. And yeah.
Oh, well, okay, guys. Have a look for
the bottom 8. Titans. The biggest improvers, obviously, this year in 9th. Warriors in 10th. West Tigers in 11th. St George Dragons in 12th. St George Illawarra Dragons in 12th, sorry. Manly Seagulls in 13th. North Queensland Cowboys in 14th. Canterbury Bulldogs in 15th. And the historic first wooden spoon for the Brisbane Broncos. Dead last on a for and against of negative 356. They averaged 13.4 points a game. Not good.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I think that's it. You got anything else? That's all. Have a look for all platforms, and thanks for listening to us. Wednesday night will be a big one. We're going to have a few ideas about the coaching. We've got to preview all the finals where you actually get to spend a decent amount of time per game.
We're going to start putting our Dally M together, I think.
So we're going to have a pretty good one. It's going to go for hopefully not 4 hours, but when we do say it's going to be short, it usually goes on for a bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to 6
really
Again.
Want to break it down.
Connect with the show on Twitter, Instagram, and 6 Again website. All links via the show's bio. Be sure to check out Adam's craft beer choice of the week.